year with knee, ankle, and abdominal injuries, missed 27 games in 2021 with ankle injury. And only in his 4 years since he's been with the Lakers, only once has he played 60 games or more. So we're starting what we never saw when he was in Cleveland the first go-around, what we never saw when he was in Miami, when he went there, what we never saw when he went back to Cleveland is that all of a sudden we're starting to see with greater regularity. And it's not an injury that keeps him out. Remember, Skip, when he first went back to Cleveland, he had a back injury that sidelined him 2 weeks. What we're starting to see is that the ailments are starting to come with greater regularity, and they're starting to keep him out for far significant periods of time, which is never good. And that's what happens. The soft tissue, the ankle, the knees, the joint, the ligament, Skip, as we started, we're not as sturdy as we once were. And when things go wrong, they hurt and they last a little bit longer. So they should be concerned. I'm concerned. I was concerned after 3 games when I watched him play. I see him starting to drift again on his jump shot. I see the elevation not there on the layups and then the dunks. I see the shortness of the shot.
Yep.
So I know something was wrong. I've seen this man dribble a basketball for his entire career. 1 million dribbles. I know when something's wrong. Something's wrong with LeBron.
Is it possible that life is just imitating art? Now that we have these series of Nike commercials, LeBron versus Father Time, that Father Time's just starting to win. Is that possible?
It's possible, Skip, but I didn't see any signs of Father Time in the first game when he gave you 31, 14, and 7. I didn't see that. Something has happened, Skip. Something has happened. Now, I'm sure at some point in time, it's going to come out that LeBron was dealing with something. You watch.
Well, that's my point. Okay. Slippery slope that we're on right now because we're talking about something we can't know. How hurt is he? Hurt foot. I don't know. Big deal, no big deal. I don't know. There's only one human who knows that for sure, and that's that human. My only issue with LeBron over time has been he is the all-time master media manipulator, with help from Maverick Carter, who is a genius, and Rich Paul, who has genius about him also. They know how to manipulate the media. LeBron is much better at making narratives than he is at right now making threes or free throws. The point is that they're so skilled at it that he had the 1 0 for 7 game, and then he announces to the media, or he just, what's the best word? He just allows to the media after the game, he's the one who brought it up, that, hey, I was so sick over the weekend that I had to miss our annual Halloween party, which is my favorite night of the year. Well, it played great because, oh man, LeBron had to miss his Halloween party. Well, it went beyond just the game because we all know that he and Savannah like to dress up like all the rest of them and go to the party, and it splashed all over social media.
Right.
So it played well. It worked. It was brilliant media manipulation.
I didn't need the media.
Okay.
I tweeted immediately. Once I saw him run up and down the court 2 times, I said, immediately LeBron look exhausted.
Okay.
He can't catch his breath.
Okay, but he continued to play in that game, and he played high minutes in that game, and he continues to play high minutes for this team. He plays the most minutes on the team. So how am I supposed to swallow? Just let me finish this point. Last night, they're playing back-to-back on the road at Utah. Well, obviously, he's already penciled in or inked in. He's not going to play that game because a lot of the older players don't play that game, right?
Right.
Because that's the way of the NBA world now. Nobody plays back to back.
Right.
You're going to pick one, and you're not going to play the next one. You might miss the first one and play the second one, or the other way around. And yet, he wants to, because he is so bad from 3 right now. He's on historically bad pace, and he ranks 164th out of 165 three-point shooters. Only Lou Dort is worse right now, and LeBron's at 20.7%. So it's great narrative to, instead of just saying, oh, LeBron's sitting tonight, well, nobody would have even blinked at it, because you'd say, oh, okay, well, he's in year 20. He's not going to play back-to-backs. And yet they had to, he wanted them to announce he's got foot soreness because it plants an excuse. Maybe it's a valid excuse, but it's an excuse nonetheless. And now you're running with it, and you could be right, or you could be just playing the game for LeBron.
No, I ain't run with it. Skip, like I said, when you watch someone, as long as I've watched someone, and being an athlete and having to deal with injuries. Now, Skip, I'm not excusing him, because, and that's what Darvin Ham said. He said, yeah, he was a little under the weather, but once you lace him up, bro, you out there. You got to play. You got to give it to me.
You have always said that.
I'm a firm believer. I know.
Okay.
Because I've taken the injections and still went out there and played at a very high level.
All right.
So that's the level of expectation. But, Skip, I've watched this man too closely for too long for something not to be wrong with him. Now, I'm not saying, look, and it's hard to believe that Father Time, like all of a sudden. Normally, sometimes you can step off a cliff, but I watched him in game one, and he looked fine to me. And then slowly but surely, as the guy's like, hold on, where's the lift? You're missing layups. I mean, everything you shoot is short, or it's a complete air ball. Nah.
And to use your favorite phrase, I thought in the first 2 games, he was actually sitting in the defensive chair, as in squatting into a defensive position to actually defend.
Yeah.
And I thought for 2 games anyway, maybe even 3 or 4 games, well, the stats said they were a hugely improved defensive team thanks to Darvin Ham's interaction.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, because last night they gave up almost 140, wasn't it 139?
139.
Okay.
They gave up 76 in the first half, and then that third quarter got them again. Gave up 39.
Okay, so once again, I was hoping to see what our man Russ would do without LeBron, because you kept telling me from the start before last year, the reason they went and got him, the reason they paid him, how much was it, $44 million last year, the reason they're paying